Hello, my name is Brandon Walker. I'm a grad student at the University of Alabama in interactive technology. This is my capstone project, Multimedia Abstract. The title of my project is Classroom Production Techniques, Volume 1. And I'm going to give you a real quick overview about what I did for my project. So I made an ebook, a video-based ebook to be a little bit more exact. The reason I did this is that I've worked in the Faculty Resource Center inside the Center for Instructional Technology at the University of Alabama for the last 3 years. And I've done a lot of stuff to help different faculty and staff members get their ideas out of their head and into the world. And one of the things that we do is I was classified as an instructional designer when I first started in my production role there, and that evolved later into something else. And so that gives me a an interesting perspective on how things work in the classroom. Well, if you notice in the news and that kind of thing, we hear a lot about different administrators equipping their teachers with iPads and not really any training on what to do and how to get product that they can use in their class and that kind of thing. And if you do any searching on the internet, it's really easy to see how someone without any production experience can get bogged down. So what I decided was that I was going to put together a book that not only told you what to do, but showed examples. And we were going to use as many free tools as were out there that were possible, and we were going to try to make it as cross-platform as possible. So that means Mac and Windows. And so what I mainly do in this book is I start at the beginning with pre-production. Your planning phase and going through what are the important things. Well, there's sound, there's the picture, there's editing, there's exporting, there's closed captioning, there's putting it all together, and then there's what do you do if you want some more information or if you want to get more involved in production and doing a little bit more of that in your classroom. And so this gives you a really good starting point, a good foundation in being able to do that. So that was the reason behind it all. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the tools that I used. I made this book in iBooks Author. I've used it before. It's a great tool to kind of visually put something together. I don't want to have to deal with a lot of code and that kind of thing, and it worked really well for me. And this time around, they've added an Epub export function, so it works pretty much anywhere. Now, if I wanted to sell this or something like that, yeah, I'd have to convert it. I'd have to do some work to get it ready for Kindle and that kind of thing, and maybe we'll cross that bridge. I'm not exactly sure yet. I used a storyboarding tool called Plot that was really great. It's a really robust tool. It lets you do a few different projects for free just to kind of test it out and that kind of thing. It had way many more features than I needed for my little ebook. Normally, I would use a whiteboard or a PowerPoint presentation or something like that, but I decided that it was worth kind of trying to examine and find some other tools to at least see what they had to offer. And Plot was a really great one, and I used it for this book. In addition to that, we went through a closed captioning process because that's an increasingly important issue for video production and that kind of thing. And I found a free tool called Sub. Now I probably said it wrong, but it's cross-platform. It's for Mac and Windows. It's a free download, and it's really easy to use. You just load in your video. It breaks your video down into sections. I believe they're about 4 seconds, and so you caption that section and move on. It's a really good tool to use for that. What do you use to find out what the standards are for captioning? Well, there's a website, captioningkey.org. It's a really, really robust website that has a lot of different examples and tools and things in there to use that you know what to do to make that good faith effort. So who is this book for? Well, this book is for the teacher that has got an iPad from their administration and doesn't really know where to start with it. It's enough to give you a good foundation to gain more knowledge, and it's also designed to be something that you can revert back to. The main thing was I wanted to put together a resource that could be used by people in the classroom to be more effective teachers.